I'm Old Head Ed.
And I'm Mr. Belief. And we like to welcome y'all to Barcodes. Barcodes is a podcast where we delve into the lyrics of your favorite MCs, verse by verse.
Each episode, we invite an artist onto the show,
Break down their own bars, and give the listeners a deeper understanding of the meaning and inspiration behind their music.
from underground up-and-comers to established industry veterans.
We cover it all. So join us as we explore the art of MCing and the stories behind the bars on Barcodes.
Hey man, this is Barcodes.
Welcome.
You got Belief on one end of the table, Mr. Belief himself. I am Belief on IG, and I am Old Head Ed, Bruce Beats and Eats on IG, the letter N between Beats and Eats. And man, we're back at it again.
Once again, we got a special guest in the building, yo.
Oh, indeed.
One of the biggest spokesmen of Hialeah.
Word. Along with several other accolades, we can go on. You know, dope MC, producer,
what they do.
Yes, 1/4 of what they do. A curator of the hip hop scene. Well, here in South Florida, one of the many.
Well, if you don't know who we talking about, they right in front of you, yo. Mr. Orion himself. What's going on, my man?
a.k.a. Brass Balls 09 on IG.
Shout out to y'all for having me, man. Mr. Belief, Old Head Ed, great homies of mine, and always a pleasure.
Wow, likewise. All sentiments mutual. This is what we do here. Belief had this great idea to sit down with some of the most esteemed MCs from South Florida area, especially people who we've kind of like delved into their art and walked away impressed. Belief said, yeah, we have to give people an opportunity to, just speak on what it is that brought them to certain verses, what inspired them to write songs, and the meaning behind some of these lines. So that's pretty much Barcodes in a nutshell.
Yeah, it breaks down almost every line. You know what I mean? Like, so when I know as an artist myself, there's a lot of times that I'll write something and I feel like it'll go over people's heads. And I hate that shit. So, like, sometimes I want to, like, unpack that shit. But, you know what I'm saying? People are real quick to just listen to a song and then just be out. So this is what Barcodes is about. We give the artist an opportunity to really unpack, like, one of their favorite verses or stuff that people might have gone over their heads or whatnot. So
this verse right here comes from a project that dropped, January, was that 18?
No, January 2019.
2019, okay.
Yeah.
It was the aforementioned What They Do project.
Substance Abuse.
Word.
Available on all streaming platforms.
Dope fucking album.
Yeah. Props on the name of the podcast. I like it. Barcodes.
Thank you.
Makes complete sense. I dig it.
Appreciate that.
Hours and hours of of procrastination.
Going into a lot of brainstorming. I dig it, though. It makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
We just put a dartboard on the wall.
And it just landed?
It just landed. Yeah. But going to the verse here, where it's your verse off of The Ultimate High, which featured yourself, Spaz, Sir Thousand, and Infinite, a.k.a. Sweet Jesus. And, man, we're going to get into your verse. The track was produced by Name Brand.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It's a track, Ultimate High. Like the homie mentioned, it's produced by Name Brand, one of the last beats that he ever made with me for this particular project before he passed and stuff. It's a really dope song. I think it's like the strongest song off of the project. It's the one that we did an official video for and everything. Shout out to Enrique Shogun Diaz, who shot it and directed it for us and everything. Really was dope. When you approached me with the Barcodes podcast and told me, like, yo, this is what we doing, is there a particular verse, that you would want to do? You know, me, like you, I got a lot of extensive discography,
Yeah.
But I think this is one of these verses that, like, it might seem simplistic to most, and it's not even, like, the most cryptic verse I have, but I'm like, you know what? Let's dive into this one.
Word.
And that's the beauty part about this podcast. We could do this multiple times. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have you here just one time because you have an extensive catalog. You know what I'm saying? So And forgive me, audience, if I sound a little off, I have a little cold that I'm getting over. But yeah, man, like this is not the only opportunity you're gonna have to like unpack this stuff. So I'm glad that you're here, and let's get in. Let's deep dive into this. This is the What They Do Ultimate High Orion verse.
So I got the third verse on this particular song. Little backstory to this track. So when we were working on this project, the majority of all the songs were like, I would send the beat to the guys, have my verse already on it type thing, and then like they would kind of like feed off that. Right. And I wasn't looking to be like, yo, I'm gonna change my verse because damn, man, Spaz's verse was too fire. And so I just kept like literally all the verses I sent to them, I kept as is. This particular verse was originally written over Lil' Kim's Drugs. So if you remember Lil' Kim's first album, Hardcore, she has a song called Drugs, The Ultimate High. Yeah. And that's originally what I wrote it over because Sweet Jesus had the vinyl, which had the instrumental, and we were going to do a mixtape. This is like 2010. So I wrote this verse back then. Wow. Me and Sweet Jesus wrote the hook back then as well. Yeah. And it was intended for this project that never came out. I even recorded my verse and everything. When we started working on substance abuse, we started with the weed song, then the drinking song, then we had a song about pussy and sex and shit. And when we wanted to do a song about hip hop, I was just like, I kind of already have that verse. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't like wasting verses, bro. I hate it. Like, I hate it. So,
I hate that shit.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get hip hop quotable every time. Like, I'm trying to make good songs. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so at the end of the day, like I was like, I think this fits. I practiced the verse because this beat is kind of different. The drums are a little bit more they're not boom bap-ish, I feel. Yeah. I don't feel these drums are boom bap. I don't think they're trap. They're somewhere in between boom bap and trap. So yeah, so that's where this came from. And so some of these things like that I say in it like definitely go from that. So I don't know, you want me to get into it?
Let's get into the first lines. The first few bars.
So the first shit I say is, who let the dope in? Me, no discussion. They don't understand like I'm speaking Russian. Niet. The niet is very important. So when I say who let the dope in, once again, I wrote this in Sweet Jesus' apartment back in the days. Yeah. And we were serving herb at that time. Like I had a trash bag.
Allegedly.
I got hooked up with like a trash bag full of herb. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts. Like a trash bag full, like a hefty black trash. So like that's how I felt that day when I wrote it. Like, who let the dope in? Me, no discussion. They don't understand like I'm speaking Russian yet. Which is no
in Russian.
And that comes from the reason I even knew that is because back in the days, Best Buy had a commercial where the guy is looking for a CD. I forgot what CD it was. And he can't find it anywhere. And he's like deep in like Russian and like some Russian mountain range. And he walks into this place. He's like, do you have Ace of Base? And he's like, yet. And that's where that comes from. Because like I knew like this was going to be about, because we wrote the hook first. So I knew this was going to be about hip hop being a drug. You know what I mean? All right. So then, it's just something that makes me function, go through withdrawals when I ain't laying my production. It's pretty straightforward. It's like if I'm not making beats, I'm just going through withdrawals for not doing that.
And that includes, digging, hitting up thrift stores for wax, anything that ties it back to this addiction, which is hip hop. So.
Yeah, which goes into the next line. Caught me a stack of records at the local thrift, Flamingo Strip, so I could sample some Chicago hit. So yeah, it goes back to that. Like this, like
you're referencing your like the other side of
the digging portion of it,
the digging portion of the samples and shit.
Yeah, sometimes you find yourself digging more so than actually making beats. And the next thing you know, you got like a room full of records, and you're like, "What the fuck am I? Am I just hoarding? Like, what is going on here? Like, I haven't made a beat in 3 weeks, but I keep bringing in new records, And then the Flamingo Strip is referring to this infamous strip in Hialeah that is the Flamingo Plaza, that this was like the gold mine for me, man. Like I started digging in like 97, and this particular strip mall had 5 to 6 thrift stores.
Wow.
So you could literally spend 5 hours going to eat, and they were dope. They were really dope ones. Today it's still there. It's got like 3 thrift stores there, but it's not what it was before, because hipsters are always invading thrift stores and taking all the good shit. But you know, I was going there for a long time religiously. Chicago, the reason I even mentioned Chicago, aside from the fact that it made sense with the rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man, but Chicago and Billy Joe, just nonstop, man, nonstop. Chicago, running into Chicago records and Billy Joe, like constantly, especially in Hialeah. And I just kept like, nah, I don't want a fucking Chicago record, bro. Fuck this shit, you know. Until finally, like, I guess on one of those days I couldn't find shit. Like, I was like, yo, Chicago is dope. Like,
maybe it was the bag of fucking trash bag of weed that made you change your mind after smoking a few of them.
Yeah. So it's the next lines is doing this continuous, never gonna quit this till we laying in the biscuits island. Now the story behind that is that the day that I wrote this, on the way to Sweet Jesus' crib, it was an early morning. Like I said, we had that trash bag that we had to go through and sort out. Like, this was like dirty weed. This was like weed that was in like attached to leaves and shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like that kind of crumbles.
Yeah. This was like, I got hooked up with this trash bag because of a raid that my boy was just like, yo, they raided my homie's spot. Just take this. It's just like, thank you, God. It was the recession. I had no job, dog. This was necessary. So, whatever, as I was driving there, the route that I took, I don't even remember why I took this route, but for some reason, I was on Collins, on Washington, and then I had to take that bridge that connects to Biscayne Boulevard. Yeah. You know, where Star Island is Hibiscus Island is right there, and I remember it was a gloomy day, and as I saw a shark, bro, pop out of the water. Yo, it's crazy. Like, not like full jump. Yeah, but a good amount. It came out.
Be able to tell that is a shark, not a dolphin.
Yeah, no, it was.
How dirty was that weed?
I hadn't smoked that day. It was early in the morning. Yeah. It was early in the morning. I saw this.
Fumes alone.
But where it came out, like, I could see this hibiscus. I always referred to that section as Star Island. I never referred to it, but I was like, I remember it passed, and I see Hibiscus Island, and I'm like, yo, that's dope. And I'm just like, I'm going to put that in a rhyme today. And then that's where it comes from. Till we laying in Hibiscus Island. That's the zone I'm in. Getting high when I'm rhyming. The deal is the beat I confide in, because we're doing this, you know what I'm saying, you know, consistently. And we're not doing this, we do this for the love, but we're trying to make it somewhere. That's why we're trying to lay in Hibiscus Island with looking at sharks and shit come out of the ocean. You feel me?
Got sharks in my backyard.
Yeah. The deal is the beat I confide in is like a double entendre. You know, Dilla. Because it's Dilla referring to Jay Dilla and to referring to the dealer. You know what I'm saying? The Dilla's the beat I confide in, from dimes and nicks, serving rhymes like bricks. The fiend looking for his next fix, the Best Buy. That's where that Best Buy line is a tie-in
to the
vignette, all the way in the beginning.
Yeah, so you see, if we originally we wouldn't, just hearing the verse, you wouldn't tie that together.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the reasons why we're here. That's fucking awesome. All right, what was you gonna say?
And it was dope is that, you know, there's even another layer with the confiding in the track, in the beat, in the dealer. It's, you know, how often does people who, I mean, I've seen it in movies where the guy shows up to sell somebody weed, and all of a sudden they start smoking, and next thing you know, it's like he's opening up to the dealer.
Right.
And so that's ill. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't glance over that part, because that was pretty dope too.
Yeah, that's one of the tiebacks. Like, the instant gratification when you write rhymes and people get them is like the direct punchlines, the similes, you know, even the lines where it's a double entendre that's right in your face, people will get. But the tiebacks is very little reward from tiebacks when you're writing. you know, because I have a bunch of tiebacks and verses where it's like, but did you hear the last line and how it went to the? And people are like, no.
Yeah, and yes,
and that's the reason for barcodes, man. Like straight up, because I feel you 100% on that shit. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people don't understand the complexity of the bars, or they just everything is too fast paced now. So like they hear the song and they just look at it at a surface level, and they don't really deep dive into it. And that's what we're here for, man. And shit, it's definitely. I love tiebacks in all verses, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm one of the same people like that will look over it by mistake because sometimes you just don't have the time to really deep dive into every verse somebody has.
Right.
Then it's for my entertainment to get by. I've been served by downloads. I'll never go dry. So for my entertainment, the reason for that is because you had back in the, you know, I just mentioned Best Buy, and then you had back in the days FYE, for your entertainment.
Yeah, I remember
so
that.
for my entertainment to get by, I've been served by downloads. I'll never go dry. I cook it myself, but get high on my own supply. Even sold my mom's TV, the puff fly. So that's all, you know, the stereotypical crackhead guy, requiem for a dream. I'm gonna sell my mom's TV to, you know, in this case, you know, I'll be willing to sell my mom's TV if I could get like an M box for my computer or fucking a microphone.
Which it satisfies the itch. It gets you closer to your fix because ultimately it's being able to create something is part of the addiction.
Yeah. And then plus I won't stop till I OD, sharing needles with my homie. So plus I won't stop till I overdose, sharing needles with my homie. Not, you know, there's needles from heroin and shit. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not sharing that. Can't say I don't know about
disclose
sweet
that
Jesus
for
maybe.
the public, so people won't be like, damn, this nigga's real.
It's all music related.
He's on it.
He's on it.
You know, obviously the needles for like the
cartridges
turntables.
off
Yeah,
the
for the
turntable.
turntables.
Yeah.
It's a play on words with the needles from, you know,
Yeah.
I get it.
And then taking bumps off the speakers. You know, taking a bump. You know, speakers bump.
Yeah, especially down here in Miami. That's what speakers do.
Yeah, because nothing else could console me. Now, here's the funny thing. It's like if you listen to the song, it just says nothing else could console me. And then that repeats, nothing else could console me. Originally, when I recorded it, it was console me. And then I say nothing else could console me. Like a sound console. But for whatever high-ass reason... That actually not even a high ass reason. So 1,000 and fucking Spaz were on me like, bro, don't keep that console me, bro. Take that off. And I listened, and I wish I didn't, because when we do that song live, whenever what they does that song live, you'll always see me do the console. Like instead of saying console me, I'll say I'll do it the way that I did it.
Well, that was the original idea.
Yeah, that was the original idea. And Inf was always like, yo, why'd you take that off, bro? I was like, I don't know. But yeah, that was one of those things, also like a play on like console me, console, sound console. Like I went to Full Sail, like producing and engineering is very much a part of my creative process, you know? So, and then the hook, this hip hop like drugs, the ultimate high, getting my mental buzz, asking my mirror to drive. So,
okay, yeah, I've always had, that's been always, as long as I've known you, as long as I've heard the song, that last line is always, like, I've tried to decipher it myself, like, and I never bothered to ask you, because next time we chill, I'm like, it's gone, but then the next time I hear it, I'm like, the hell, the mirror to drive thing, what is that, you know?
Well, the thing is, like, we're all smoke and mirrors, so the smoke is the dream, the mirror is you, the dreamer, and that was the point in the whole smoke and mirrors click, so we were replacing the N word with the M word. And that's why, like, you'll hear sometimes me refer to Inf as my mirror. And we kind of like, yo, what's up, my mirror? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't do it all the time. If it comes out naturally, it comes out naturally.
Yeah,
like,
you don't force it.
We're not trying to force it. But yeah, when we did the hook, that's what it is. Yeah. Asking my mirror to drive. You know what I mean? So
okay,
that's,
got you.
You know, that was the whole point in that. You know, and the funny thing is, it's like, me, Inf, and 1,000 were Smoke and Mirror members. Yeah. Spaz wasn't. Spaz, he's the last person that I brought into the Smoke and Mirrors fold. So when we did this song, I was like, I don't know as fast as going. And he never had any pushback. He never was just like, nah, yo, what's up with that mirrors thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Especially
like,
since it's a staple, it's a chorus, which you're going to hear
Right.
it several times. You think that if someone, if there was any moment to be like, console is one thing, but for somebody to push back, I'm like, wait, what's happening with this mirror thing? Because I don't know where we're at.
Did he
with
even
it.
inquire about it? Like, or he kind of just knew about it?
I don't know, man. I think at some point I may have explained it to him, and I think he was just like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll roll with that.
Like,
whatever.
my nigga.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
know.
lay this shit down. My mirror.
And it's bugged out too because you think about growing up in South Florida, late 80s, early 90s. It's like coming down here. A lot of times, Hispanics were referred like there was certain words that people referred to Hispanics as. It was oye, chico, or mira.
Oh shit!
Mira. That that's one of the miras.
Well, with smoke and mirrors, we spell it miras. We don't
That's
spell
what I'm
it.
saying. Yeah,
we don't spell it
M-I-R-A-S.
mirrors. Yeah. The other thing with that too is like in my high ass mind, like I was always like, yeah, that makes sense because when you get in your car and you're kind of like a little twisted. Like I don't know about you, but I always get in the car and I like check myself out. Good, and I'll look in the mirror right quick, and it's almost like you're looking at your reflection, like, okay.
To confirm,
Whatever part of you is sober needs to come out right now.
Find them
Because we got 30 minutes to get here. You know what I mean?
He's in there somewhere.
It's kind of referring
When
to
you look
that
at the
too.
mirror-
If you don't got an actual other mirror there with you, whatever reflection you seek into, like that internal part of you that can take over the fucking wheel and get you where you need to go, that's it. And then the other part of the thing is like taking it higher, because it's like it's funny to like do this because I'm so used to just like doing the whole verse and then doing the hook that like by breaking it in chunks I have to like so asking my mirror to drive. Is hip hop like drugs, the ultimate high? Asking my mirror, my mental buzz. Asking my mirror to drive. This hip hop like drugs, the ultimate high. Come get your tickets, cuz that's if you ready to fly. And that's,
Okay.
Taking it a
Yeah,
step higher.
step higher.
Yeah, and that's it, man.
Oh, shit's definitely unpacked a lot of stuff that I didn't get originally when I read it and when I heard it originally, like especially the tie back with the Best Buy and the Niet. Like the Niet was just like Russian. Yet I was like, okay, he knows a little bit of Russian. I was like, shit, this nigga's probably like,
I know nothing of Russian. That was it.
part of the Cuban Missile Crisis and shit. But yeah, man, like we thank you for joining us, man,
definitely,
and unpacking this your case.
Thank you.
And we definitely want you again here, man. If you have another verse, man, or more verses, you're more than welcome to come here. Like a lot of people don't know that he was originally proposed to join this when we first started this, but he was like, like he has his own stuff, so he couldn't join it in.
Yeah, I mean, I like when you told me about it. I told you, I'm like, I think it's a good idea. Definitely roll with it, but I couldn't put myself in this seat for the simple fact that my hands are full with La Plancha.
Yeah, you have a lot
that I
of
got
stuff
going
going
on right now with DJ XS. The fam, my own music and everything. I couldn't see myself doing it, and then not only that, like I might trash on dudes. Like, you know what I mean? Like here's the thing. Like here's the thing. My relationship with music, and for the sake of this podcast, like particularly hip hop music, I don't have to be a fan of your bars to like your songs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
okay.
your bars could be mediocre, but I still see the vision and the greater picture of the song you put together and the vibe and how I feel when I hear it, and that makes me like the song.
Yeah,
Got you.
I'm not like a bar, I love bars, don't get me, and I love like dudes that drop crazy fucking bars, but I like music, I like songs. So if you're a dude that's only dropping like the most fucking cryptic fucking technical bar shit, cool, you know what I'm saying? But I actually might like some other song better than yours.
Yeah,
That's
sometimes
not even as
simplicity
technical.
Sometimes simplicity goes a long
Yeah,
way.
you say
Definitely in a
more
song,
with
yeah.
less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, the Russian thing too. I forgot to mention they don't understand like I'm speaking Russian. It's because like we drop these bars and people don't get it.
Get it?
Wow.
It's like
There
I'm
you
speaking
go.
another language.
There
to
you
them,
go.
You know.
Yeah. You touched on it a little bit. What you got going on with La Plancha? You know, putting in work with music and whatnot. I guess give them a rundown. We gave the IG at the beginning of this, but let them know where they can find or keep up with you as far as anything else that you got going on.
Word. Brassballs09 is on Instagram. That's the thing that I keep most updated. It's a social media platform I'm on all the time. WDDH Radio exclusively on SoundCloud is where you can find all the Plancha mixtapes that we're dropping. After every Plancha event, I do a special interview with the special guest DJ that we have for the night, and I play their set from the night of. So if you went to the event and you were like, yo, man, that DJ that they had was dope, you could peep that set again. If you weren't at the night and you missed it, you could peep that set on the SoundCloud page. We got the next Plancha coming. I don't know when you fellas are dropping this, but we drop these Plancha events, you know, every once a month or once every 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Give people some time to digest what's going on. For the people that don't know, La Plancha is a showcase of 5 dope MCs. They're competing for the Golden Plancha. They're not battling each other. They're not dissing each other. They are battling with their sets, 15-minute sets each, and whoever's got the dopest set, that's the person that gets the Golden Plancha.
Yeah, I've attended a few of them, man. And they're great event.
Yeah,
Great event.
Yeah. For those for those people who are tuned in and like what they're hearing here and appreciate the lyricism that goes into some of this, like La Plancha is the place for you to kind of like it's one more venue, one more avenue for you to kind of like get your hip hop fix. You know, being that we're talking about the ultimate high, it's one more spot you can go to if you're looking. If you're missing that, if you're not finding the place where, you know what I'm saying, where they play that type of music or they don't provide that atmosphere anywhere near you, La Plancha's the place to go. 10th Level Tavern, Oakland Park.
Yeah, 10th Level Tavern in Oakland Park is where we've done the last 4 Planchas. Plancha 6 is going to go down at 10th Level Tavern as well. This one's going to be dope. I'm going to compete in this one.
Dope.
So this one's going to be different because we usually have 2 judges, me and DJ XS, and the crowd is the 3rd judge. But because I'm competing on this one, obviously, we're going to have 2 different judges, and then we're going to have the crowd, obviously, as the 3rd one. And, I'm itching to compete for one of the Golden Planchas.
There you
Tired
go.
of seeing it in the sidelines. He's like, man, I got to get in this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers.
Yo, believe, man, I think we accomplished it, man.
Got another one, man.
Another episode of Barcodes in the bag,
Definitely.
man. Thorough. Y'all stay tuned, man. There's more to come. Like I said, it won't be the last time you see Orion. And yeah, man, before you know it, we'll have another MC from the area come through and break down those bars, because that's what Barcodes does.
Definitely.
That's if you ready to fly. Yeah, who let the dope in? Me, no discussion. They don't understand like I'm speaking Russian. Yeah, it's just something that makes me function. Go through withdrawals when I ain't laying my production. Call me a stack of records at the local thrift, Flamingo Strip, so I could sample some Chicago hit. Doing this continuous, never gon' quit this till I'm laying in the biscuits. Island, that's the zone I'm in. Getting high when I'm rhyming, the dealer's the beat I confide in from dimes and nicks. Pushing rhymes like bricks, the fiend looking for his next fix. The best buy for my entertainment to get by. I've been served by downloads, I'll never get dry. I cook it myself, but get high on my own supply. Even so, my mom's TV, the puff fly. Plus I won't stop till I OD. Sharing needles with my homie, bumps off the speakers, cause nothing else can console me. Nothing else can console me. This hip hop like drugs, the ultimate high.